All right, this will be like the 90th time I've had to record this, so I'm going to try and be quick. So, I've got two topics to cover and three stories to tell that will aid these topics, okay? The first topic is going to be about what to do in these situations, and topic number two is going to be about accountability. I'm going to use personal examples for the first one and for the second one, right? And for all of them. And disclaimer, I'm not trying to virtue signal. I'm not trying to hype myself up. I'm just using what I know as an example because it's easy. Anyway, because it's personal and happened to me. So anyway, we're going to go with the first two stories, which are about a girl, we're going to call her Jane Doe, who used to get blackout drunk and used to invite me to these parties all the time because she liked me and I liked her, okay? So, the first story is going to be about what I did in the situation. The second story is going to be about what someone else did and how they did it wrong. So, the first story, she invites me over to her house for her birthday party. She's blackout drunk. She's all touchy-feely up on me. She's like trying to sit in my lap and stuff, and I have to tell her no multiple times to get off me. But like first in like a decent like way, like, hey, get off me. I don't appreciate that. And then the second in like again in a stern way, I'd be like, hey, like you need to like get off. And she would like rub my leg and stuff, and like try and sit in my lap. And I had to like be the adult and tell her no. So anyway, we get to the end of the night where everybody is like going to bed and winding down. And she's like, I want John to tuck me in. And I'm like, no, can't you get your roommate to do that? And she's like, no, but I want you to tuck me in. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I take her to her room, and I make sure the door's open. And she's like, John, I want you to close the door. And keep in mind, she's like blackout drunk. She's like, John, I want you to close the door. I'm like, no, Jane, I'm not going to close the door. She's like, no, close the door. I'm like, okay, I'll leave it cracked. How about that? So then she like grabs my face, and she's like, I want you to kiss me, John. I'm like, what? Now, keep in mind, I asked her out a week ago, and she said no. She was sober, and now she's drunk, and she wants to make out and sleep with me. And she's like, I want you to make out with me and come get in the bed with me. And I'm like, no. And she's like, don't you, like, want me? I'm like, yes, I want you. She's like, okay, then what's the problem? I'm like, the problem is you're drunk. And she's like, no, sober me would want this too. And I'm like, I know for a fact that sober you wouldn't want this. So it was really fucking hard because I really liked her. And she was on me, and she was like touching my dick and stuff, and I had to get her hands off of me, and I was like, and I had to be the adult in the situation, tell her no. Here's the thing, guys and girls and whatever, you have to think outside of the moment, and you have to think, okay, how is this gonna look whenever it's all over in the morning, right? Because guess what? Her roommate told her about everything that happened, and she like texted me like later on when she woke up the next day, and she was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, and she like felt ashamed of it and stuff. So like imagine if I did take advantage of her, right? So if you're like, we'll get to Naira and Zach later. So the second story, she had this little get together, and there was it was me, two rednecks, we'll call redneck 1, redneck 2, and then her roommate. So me and redneck 2 are kind of chilling in the other room. We're talking, and keep in mind this party as well. She's blackout drunk again, and she was touchy feely on me again, and I had to tell her to get off. Anyway, I was in the other room talking to Redneck 2, and eventually, her and Redneck 1 later I found out he was engaging in sexual misconduct with her that she didn't approve of, but she didn't know at the time because she was like crazy blackout drunk, right? And oh shit. What the fuck? I didn't know at the time because I was in the other room. But thank God, her roommate came in and said something about it. Her roommate saw him and her, like him touching all over her on the couch, and was like, "Hey, I need you to get your like entire body off of my roommate." And I heard that from like across the building. And then I was like, okay, what's going on? And so eventually I had to leave because I had like work or something. And Jane follows me to my car because she was like wanted to talk to me and like was into me and stuff. And we're talking, and then Redneck 1 storms out of the room, or storms out of the apartment. and he's really pissed off. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, oh man, that dumb bitch in there is crazy. I'm like, okay, like, can you tell me what's going on? He's like, nah, dude, she's just crazy, man. You have a good night. I'm like, okay. So him and Jane go into his big jacked up truck to talk about it. And then Redneck 2 eventually storms out and is like, I'm like, what happened, Redneck 2? And he's like, oh, no, that bitch is fucking crazy, bro. Like, she ain't gonna talk to my boy like that. Like that's my boy. Like, she ain't gonna talk to him like that. So I want you to take note of the way that Redneck 2 is handling the situation. So they get in the truck and they're talking about it. I have no idea what's going on. I eventually talked to her roommate, come to find out what he was doing. Not only was he trying to like get his rocks off on her and get them to bang, but he also, whenever she bent over to like pick something up under the bed, he like mounted her and like tri-humped her under the guise of like a joke. And then when her roommate was telling everybody to leave because it was time to go, not in a way that was like, oh, like, fuck you guys gotta leave. She's like, no, like, you guys gotta, hey, it's time for everybody to go. We got class in the morning and stuff. It's like, oh, okay, goodbye. Redneck 1 wouldn't leave. He just sat there with hands in his pocket, looking down at the floor, and he wouldn't leave. And she kept telling him, dude, you gotta leave. And he wouldn't say anything. And she was like, bro, don't make me call the cops on your ass. Get out of my house. And he got all pissy and stuff. So I want you to look at how Redneck 2 handles this situation. Okay, how Redneck 1 and 2. Redneck 1 is trying to take advantage. He knows this girl is drunk. He knows that she's like in a bad spot. And he's gonna try and take advantage of her. He's gonna try and sleep with her while she can't do anything about it. And that's just fucking some scumlord shit. And then you've got Redneck 2 that doesn't grab Redneck 1 by the collar and go, hey man, that's not cool, okay? Like, you shouldn't be doing that, like, blah, 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 like reprimanding his friend. No, he just goes, oh, that's my boy, that's my boy, that's my boy. Like, fuck off, dude. Like, I don't care if someone is your friend. If something's going on, you fucking call them out for it. So, and then you take a look at situation 1, where I was in the moment, and God, I wanted to fucking make out with her so bad, and get in that bed and cuddle with her. But I didn't, and it was really fucking hard, but I didn't because I knew it was wrong, and I knew she wouldn't want to, right? Oh, God. That's what I'm trying to get at here, right? Nairo and Captain Zach, they were in the moment, and not only did... So let's see what Nairo could have done better, right? Not only could he have said, no, let me not let a 15-year-old diddle me. Not only could Captain Zach have not have instigated this. By the way, I'm not like pinning all the blame on Captain Zach. Okay, don't go there. So, I'm just saying there's a lot wrong here. Although Nairo was mainly in the wrong. Okay, don't get it twisted. Nairo, not only as the adult, should have told him no, but he shouldn't have even been in that situation in the first place. This is the key thing, right? Nairo should have said, hey, I'm not going to even like Tweak and I think Salem maybe were in the room playing Smash or whatever. And then they were like, hey, we're going to go get some food. Nairo should have left with them. He shouldn't have stayed in the room with Zach. If like you don't need to stay in the room with a minor. That's just wrong, okay? Like, even if you have grand intentions, like, and if you just want to play games with them and stuff, it's best to just not put yourself in that situation, right? Because you never know. Just don't because what if, like, you might not be a kid diddler, but take Captain Zach, who was instigating it and who was, who wanted to suck his dick and all that stuff. You as the adult have to understand that situation can happen, and you have to say no, and not only say no, but not put yourself in that situation. So that's the two things we need to take away from this, right? So now I'm going to get to another argument, and this is an accountability argument. And unfortunately, I'm going to call some people out here. I'm going to call out people that have been called out before, like Tweak and his girlfriend and Salem and stuff. But unfortunately, I know this person is like a sacred cow, but I'm going to call out Sam Sora, okay? So all of these people that knew about Zach and Nairo, right? Okay. I don't buy either of the arguments that are presented of why they couldn't come out and tell the public. I don't buy it. Okay. So we're going to go over both arguments. We're going to go over the first argument, which is it's not my responsibility. And then we're going to go over the second argument, or excuse me, it's not my responsibility. They'll say it wasn't my business to tell. And the second argument they'll say is like I was like feared like for my and their safety, right? So the first argument is like it isn't my business and it wasn't my responsibility. Hey, motherfucker, according to the law, it is your responsibility. Because look it up. If you know or if you know about sexual misconduct, especially with a minor, and you don't report it, that is you being complicit. Okay? So don't fucking give me that. Second, moral argument. Like, what do you mean? Like, and this is where I'm going to get into my third story. Okay? Long story short, there was a girl that I really liked, and we had like had a thing in the past, right? I gotta pay attention. So she has had this shitty abusive boyfriend for a long time, and for context for the story, he is known in my town as like the local scumbag. He'll do this thing with his ex-girlfriends when they were dating, where he'll take their phone and cut off all make sure they have no communication with the outside world, and lock them in their house. He'll lock all the windows, lock all the doors, and and like physically like restrain them, right? Anyway, me and her were talking back and forth because she had no one, and like we were talking again. And this was recently, very recently, and she eventually confessed to me that she wanted to break up with Scumlord. And I was like, great, like, please do it. And I was like, hey, you got to be careful because look what he's done in the past. And she's like, oh, I'll be fine. So cut to in Nashville, my sister's wedding. She's like, hey, I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm like, okay, you got to be careful. So she tells me she's going to break up with him in the morning. And then in the morning, I get a text message from her phone that says, never fucking talk to again. Fuck, I used her name. I'll have to edit it out. Never talk to Jane Doe again. So, I'm like, crap. He's probably going psychopath mode on her. She's in danger. So at this point, I can throw my hands up like freaking Tweak's girlfriend and go, oh, I wanted to do something and I wanted to say something, but I couldn't. Like, no. At this point, and I want you to pay attention to this phrase, her trust is less important than her safety. Okay? Because right now, I know she could possibly be in a situation that's dangerous to her. So what I did is I texted and her father, her mother, her sister, and her brother. I texted all of her family, and I said, because I used to be roommates with her brother, and I said, hey, this is probably what's happening. You guys need to get over there right now and make sure she's okay. So, I don't buy this. Like, oh, like, I was under duress and I'm also a victim here because I wanted to tell but I couldn't and it was weighing on my heart. No, motherfucker. You should have said something. I firmly believe that these people are not absolved. I firmly believe that these people, I think it is bullshit. I think it's bullshit that these people knew about Nairo and Zach and they didn't say anything. Not just with the law argument, because that one's practically airtight, but with a moral argument too. I don't buy this like, oh, it wasn't my business to tell anyone, and I was scared. What do you think these fucking smashers are gonna do? They're a bunch of pussies. They're not gonna do anything. And plus, Zach was the like aggressor in this situation. He was the one that was like pressing it. Not again. Don't be like, oh, like you're victim blaming. I'm saying, if Nairo was the one that was like an ally, were the ones that were like pushing on Zach and like you know, they were the ones that were forcing this relationship, and like maybe you might have an argument. But I don't buy it. If you know that sexual misconduct, and that goes back to the argument of like, you know, if there's like a horny 15-year-old that's trying to get with you, you have to be the responsible adult. Like Kitaro wasn't, right? He had the 16-year-old that was touching his dick and stuff, and he didn't do anything about it. So I don't buy this argument of like, oh, like I knew, but I couldn't tell. And I don't I don't like people like 8-Bit Man that are like, oh, like, leave Sam Sora alone. Like, you know, it wasn't his business to tell. He's an angel. Da, 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 da. Like, I've known Sam Sora for a while. He's not, like, we're not close friends or anything, but we're cool. And it really shames, it's sad to me that I have to make this call out, but I find it bullshit. What do you guys think? I think the first topic is cut and dry, but the second topic, I want to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on. If someone like Tweak knew about what was happening with Zack and Nairo and didn't say anything, are they in the right or the wrong? Because I firmly believe that they are in the wrong. I think they are not absolved on any kind of duress argument because no one had any duress. And I don't think they're absolved on any kind of like responsibility because that is your responsibility as a fucking human being to report sexual misconduct, especially with a minor. I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all.